Now on Denver 7 News at 5, the streets of downtown filled with marchers speaking out for women's rights.
It's unbelievable that we're going backwards and we have to protest this again.
How advocates are urging voters to make sure their voices are heard during the midterm election.
Plus, a new treatment for a paralyzing disease.
This might buy some people some time.
The FDA's approval for Relivrio, creating a big step forward for people suffering with ALS, and next steps to create access.
And getting a haircut without the stress.
Solidifying who I am as like a person and just being able to radiate my most authentic self.
One Salon is creating an inclusive experience for everyone who walks in.
Protests today from Washington, D.C. to Denver.
With 30 days left until the election, people are taking to the streets with a message of women's rights. Thank you so much for watching Denver 7 News at 5 Weekend Edition. I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Brian Wang. The political activist group Women's March demonstrated at Civic Center Park this morning to advocate for reproductive rights ahead of the midterm elections.
Denver 7's Brandon Richards spoke with organizers about the importance of today's march.
Well, we are just 1 month away from the midterm election, a number of state and federal offices on the line, but one issue in particular inspired hundreds of people to show up here to Civic Center Park Saturday.
The U.S. Supreme Court's decision this past June striking down Roe v. Wade and the constitutional right to an abortion left Colorado women like Jade Marquez with a sense of despair.
Honestly, I sobbed. I had to take like a half a day off of work. I had a very hard grieving period.
She turned that grief into action.
This is what democracy looks like.
Helping to organize the Women's March and Rally in Denver Saturday, the first one held since the pandemic.
We felt like, especially with everything that's going on, it was time to get the community back together and have a organized march.
She hopes the energy and passion on display at the march will last through the midterm election. People attending the march, like Linda Wolf, told us they're worried for younger women, like her granddaughter.
It's unbelievable that we're going backwards and we have to protest this again.
But not everyone agrees overturning Roe was a bad thing.
The overturning of Roe was actually a super exciting thing for the nation. I believe that it's the right of the people to be able to vote on their abortion rules from state to state.
Counter-protesters with the group Students for Life also showed up. Brooke Faulkner, the group's local coordinator, says they too stand for women's rights, up to a point.
I mean, as a woman, I totally recognize the fear that women's rights might be stripped away. However, my rights end when I start to hurt another person.
With so much on the line in November, the decades-old debate over abortion is intensifying. Reporting in Denver, Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
Let's give some perspective on the impact Roe v. Wade being overturned has had. Since June, 13 states have enacted bans on all or nearly all abortions. Now some are facing pushback. Friday in Arizona, a state appeals court temporarily blocked the state's wide-ranging abortion ban. The ruling allows healthcare providers in Arizona to perform abortions on women up to 15 weeks into their pregnancy. In Ohio, that state's 6-week abortion ban is on hold indefinitely. A judge in Cincinnati issued a preliminary injunction Friday. That means abortions up to 22 weeks of pregnancy are legal while the case is litigated. Ohio's Attorney General has not said whether he intends to appeal the injunction.
And as we mentioned, abortion rights are playing a major role leading up to the November election. But in Georgia's Senate race, the issue is center stage for a very different reason. Georgia's Republican candidate for U.S. Senator Herschel Walker is under fire after a woman came forward claiming the pro-life candidate paid for one abortion and asked her to end another pregnancy 2 years ago. That's according to reporting from the New York Times. The paper says they conducted interviews with the woman whose name they are not releasing and have documents to, quote, corroborate and expand upon an account about her abortion. They're citing New York family court custody records and interviews with a friend of the woman who knew about the abortion and details of her breakup with Walker. So far, there's been no comment from the Walker camp on this new reporting. He denied the earlier allegations, saying they are, quotes, a flat-out lie.
A suspect is in custody after police say he broke into a bank early this morning and then led Broomfield police on an hour-long standoff. Broomfield police say the man broke into this first-tier bank on Destination Drive overnight. About an hour after police reported that incident on Twitter, they were able to arrest this man, but nearby businesses did have to be placed on lockdown during that standoff.
Arvada Fire held a grand opening for their 9th fire station today. The 12,000 plus square foot facility is located at the 9200 block of Wilkerson Court. It will serve the Candelas community and northwest corner of Arvada. Community members got a chance to tour the facility, which is fully staffed and operational. Station 9 is the department's first new addition since 1979.
There is nothing worse than a bad haircut, but for some people, just walking into the salon can be really stressful.
That's right. They can be noisy, crowded, and bright, creating an uncomfortable situation for people on the autism spectrum.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon takes you to one Denver salon specifically designed to help with that, and now they need your help.
You're good. Perfect. Is that comfy?
Yes.
Okay.
Every salon is all about their clients.
Is that temperature okay?
From the wash
Turn your head to the right for me just a little. Perfect.
to the cut.
Let me know what you think about the length on those, and then of course they're going to shrink a little bit when we dry them.
Everything Demi Rivera does is to make sure the person in her chair is comfortable.
When I start styling my hair, it's over for all of you.
This is Talking Hairs, an homage to the Talking Heads.
One room kind of situation where it's just me and the other person. I can really focus on what we're doing.
And this room is what she always wanted when she was younger.
I had such a hard time being in regular salons. When I was a kid, the noises from the blow dryers and everything really got to me.
Something many of her clients, like Nicole Armour, can relate to.
Lights, noise, smells, literally, I've been like this my whole life. Literally everything is just like on a super heightened level.
This is a place where both of them can be themselves.
I have never really felt like I fit in other salons. I wasn't diagnosed with autism until 2019, so I really didn't know. I had a couple of salon owners tell me that if I couldn't handle the stress, I should quit doing hair.
Instead of quitting, Rivera started her own business.
There's not a lot of space for autistic adults in society. You understand me, I understand you.
There's no need for small talk.
It's nice to finally find someone who understands that I'm like non-binary and I'm queer and I'm neurodivergent.
And almost 200 other clients agree.
Solidifying who I am as like a person and just being able to radiate my most authentic self.
A purpose behind every appointment.
I'm not kind of just coming in to like, you know, do 5-6 haircuts a day and leave and be like, oh, yep, that's my job. I'm a hairdresser. How you feeling?
Awesome.
Cool.
Giving her clients a place to be comfortable.
I feel super happy and like euphoric, and I feel like I could sing and dance down the road.
And where they look in the mirror and are proud of who they are.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
That makes me definitely feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Now that's a new location for Talking Hairs after being forced out of their last one. The current one is great for customers, but Rivera says she's paying twice as much compared to the last spot. So she started a GoFundMe to help keep Talking Hairs afloat. You can find that link on denver7.com.
Denver is getting into the fall spirit with this Pumpkin Harvest Festival at 4 Mile Historic Park today. Look at that cutie pie. This park features the only pumpkin patch in the city, and organizers expect more than 6,000 visitors through the weekend.
We have tractor rides, axe throwing, we have birds of prey that you can get up close with and get a photo with. The fire trucks are out, food trucks, we have a farmer's marketplace set up right now, face painters, everything.
Is everything, all right? This Pumpkin Fall Harvest Festival lasts through tomorrow, Sunday. But if you can't make it out, there are 2 more Halloween-themed events at this park later this month.
Very exciting. All right, Longmont kicked off their 22nd annual Day of the Dead celebration. It's the longest-running Dia de los Muertos celebration in the state. The city-wide event teams up with the Longmont Museum with dozens of creators to promote Latino heritage and authenticity.
There's just informational booths, vendors. Everyone's just here to celebrate the Day of the Dead, which is, you know, a day to celebrate our lost loved ones.
The celebration ended at 3, but there will be more throughout the rest of the month. You can find more information on the Longmont Museum's website. And if these events are too spooky for your senses, might we suggest an alpaca farm?
Yeah, not so spooky, guys. The Fall Festival Alpaca Show's Fleece Show is now at the Douglas County Fairgrounds. Guests can meet and greet with these gentle giants. They're so cute. And they can also shop products made from local alpaca farmers. There are several classes and seminars as well throughout the weekend, including an alpaca fashion show. Now, who would want to pass that up? All right, coming up on Dimmer 7 News, an explosion in Crimea causes parts of Europe's longest bridge to collapse. We'll have the latest on this deadly blast, landing another blow to Russia's invasion.
Plus, President Biden sounding the alarm on Russia's nuclear threats. We go in depth in the secretive Russian force standing between Putin and a nuclear strike.
I'm meteorologist Stacey Donaldson. Temperatures were a little warmer today in the 60s, but tonight it will be chilly, and we are expecting frost with a frost advisory in effect through tomorrow morning. Coming up, I'll let you know how warm it's going to get on the 7-day forecast.